In today's video, I'm showing you how to do the chain stitch in hand embroidery, and I have drawn straight lines for easy demonstration. First, let's see how to do the chain stitch in the regular way. Thread your needle and make a knot at the end. From the back of the fabric, insert your needle up and through the fabric. Pull all the way. Then go back down at the same point you came up before. Pull the needle from the other side of the fabric till it forms a loop. Then decide what length you want your stitch to be and come up at that point. Pull the needle towards you and make sure you are going through the loop while pulling the needle all the way. This will form the first loop of your chain, and to keep its unique shape, don't pull the thread too tight. Now to continue the chain stitch, go back down at the same point you came up for the last time, which is inside of the formed first loop. Pull the needle from the back of the fabric until it forms a loop. As we did with the first loop, come up one stitch length away. Pull the needle towards you while going through the loop. Pulling the needle will tighten the loop and it will form the second loop of the chain. After this point, repeat the same steps to keep the chain going. In order to interlock one loop to another, you need to start inside of one loop and then finish inside of the next loop. These repeated steps will make a series of interlocked loops which we call the chain stitch. Chain stitch basically used in outlining shapes in embroidery. It's also popular for embroidering letters as well. Chain stitch works just fine with both straight lines and curved lines. Make stitch length shorter when embroidering curvy shapes just to maintain the shape easily. Whenever you reach the end of your chain, secure the stitch by going back down and over the last loop instead of going inside of the loop. This will make a small stitch, and this is how you end or secure your chain stitch. There is another way of doing the chain stitch, and it's called reverse chain stitch. Now let's see how to do that. Reverse chain stitch is basically the regular chain stitch in reverse. You'll see what I mean. Insert your needle up and through the fabric. Pull all the way. Now go back down by making a straight short stitch. Leave a space for one loop of the chain stitch and then come up through the fabric. Pull the needle all the way. Now slide the needle underneath the short stitch we just created. Pull the needle all the way. Then go back down where you just came up. Pull the needle from the back and this will form the first loop of your chain. Again, leave a space for a one loop and come up through the fabric. Pull all the way. Now slide the needle underneath the first loop we created. Go back down through the fabric where you came up for the last time. Pull the needle from the back of the fabric and it will create the second loop of the chain. Repeat the same steps to add more loops to the chain. You can use any of these two methods to complete your hand embroidery projects. Once you get a hold of it, they both work just fine. With the reverse chain stitch, there is no special way to secure the stitch at the end. You can just secure it by making a couple of knots at the back of the fabric like we always do. As you now know both ways of doing the chain stitch, let's see its uses. As I mentioned earlier, chain stitch used in outlining shapes in embroidery. But if you think chain stitch only works as an outlining stitch, it's not. It works beautifully in filling spaces. As you can see, I have first outlined this circle with the chain stitch and then used that same chain stitch to fill the space. After you have outlined the shape, start over the chain stitch right next to the outline layer and repeat when that round is over. You can fill the entire space by doing so. Filling with chain stitch gives a different kind of texture to a space because it shows fabric through its loops. I feel like the chain stitch is more of a filling and decorative stitch that we give credit for. Now that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video and feel free to leave a comment too. Thank you for watching, and I'll join you in the next one.